Congrats, guys. You've completed phase 2. You are now a hunter. You have a great foundation of strength and endurance. You're in the best shape of your life, but now things are going to start to get serious. Phase 3 begins now, which is the builder, Bob the Builder. But we're not building houses here. We're building a world-class physique. I'm going to get into phase 3 now. Starting off, the duration of this phase is going to take 3 whole years. Yes, you're going to have some patience. It didn't take Rome just a couple years to build the Pantheon. That took 5 to 10 years, and we're building the Pantheon great of physiques. All right, this is a 3-part phase. It's going to be a bulk and cut, bulk and cut, bulk and cut. We're going to do that 3 times, 3 different styles. Starting off with style number 1, we got the bro style, or the bro split style, cut and bulk. 2, we got the strength and power. And lastly, we have the competition phase of the bulk and cut. I'm going to go into all 3 of them. All right, lads, before we get into the 3 phases of the bulking and cutting, I'm going to do a brief description of what bulking is and what cutting is. All right, first, bulking. This is the phase where we're cultivating mass in general. It's going to be muscle and fat. In order to get the muscle, we're going to have to put a little fat on as well. And then the cutting phase starts. When the cutting phase begins, you're going to just strip the fat and keep the muscle. And you're trying to get back to that same starting point weight, but just more muscle and less fat. In order to start bulking, though, we have to be in a calorie surplus. We're going to want to gain about a half a pound to 1 pound per week of body mass. Some of it's fat, some of it's muscle. In order to do that, we got to be in about a 500 calorie surplus. So in order to do this effectively, we're going to have to be counting our calories, at least to start, until we get a good idea of how much we should be eating daily. All right, so our starting point is going to be about 10 to 12% body fat. This is the most healthy body range a male can be in. At this body fat percentage, you're going to have tone, visible, hard abs. This is going to be your best shape. As we continue to eat more calories and be in that calorie surplus, we're going to start gaining weight. We're going to be 13 to 14% body fat next. This, you'll still have visible abs, just be a little bit softer. Still looking sharp though. And then as we progress to 15 to 17% body fat, that lower abdominal region is starting to accumulate fat. The upper abs are still visible, but they're looking pretty soft. You have to have good lighting and be flexing in order to see your abs. And then last stage we're going to go to is 18 to 20% body fat. At this stage, your abs are basically gone. You still have a flat, healthy stomach, but the abs are gone to very little definition. And then last, 20% body fat. This is where we never want to go over. Trust me, guys, I've been 20% over and over before. It looks absolute shit. No one's attracted to anybody at this body fat. Women, completely different story. They can be a higher percent body fat, still be attractive. For men, we don't have it that easy. We look like shit at 20% body fat. So we will be cutting at 18 to 20%. We're never going over 20. So at that stage, your bulk is over, and now it's time to start cutting again, where we get back to that 10 to 12% body fat. In order to start this cutting phase, we do the same exact thing. We're lifting every day, except the calories we intake to lose one or half a pound of body fat per week. We got to be in a 500 calorie deficit. So we're going to be eating a total of 1,000 less calories a day compared to when we were bulking. So start measuring your food again, get into the routine of eating less, get used to being a little bit hungry, a little bit uncomfortable. And that is bulking cutting 101. That's the general. And now we'll get into the 3 different phases or styles of bulking and cutting. All right, guys, we're going to get into the different styles now, starting off with the bro split. This one's my favorite. It's fun to get that first workout partner and make some serious gains together. the bro style or bro split, I'm going to explain it to you. You're essentially working a different muscle part each day. So it's going to be 5 days out of the 7-day week. We're going to be working on a different muscle. Most people start off with chest. It doesn't matter about the order. Pick whatever order you want. But 1 day is dedicated to chest. 1 day is dedicated to back. 1 day is dedicated to shoulders, arms, and then legs. Make sure you don't skip the last one. It's important. I've done that before. So essentially, we're going to be working a different muscle, and we're going to give our body at least 48 hours to rebuild that muscle back before we hit it again. So as long as we're doing a different muscle group each day, you'll achieve that 48-hour rest period. So that leaves us 2 days remaining. And what do we do with these days? We don't completely rest. I call them active rest and recovery days. We're going to be doing light cardio and stretching these days, still being active, but not pushing our body to failure and not doing heavy lifts. So you can do something light, but use those 2 days to give your body time to rest. Like I said, you can mix any of these days, including rest days, in any particular order of the week, whatever fits your schedule best or whatever to your liking. All right, so how are we going to be working out during this bro split phase? We are going to be in the hypertrophy mode. So we're going to be in that rep range of 8 to 15. So each of our sets, we're going to do 8 to 15 repetitions. This focuses on a thing called hypertrophy, which basically means building muscle. That's what this rep range does for you. So pick a weight, make sure you're struggling to get it right around 8, but you can still get a few more reps. Once you can get to 15 repetitions, it's time to up the weight. But we should be really close to failure or failing in that 8 to 15 rep range every single time. As far as sets go, each exercise we should be doing 3 to 4 sets and getting a total amount of 12 to 16 sets per workout. So, if you're hitting chest, you're doing 12 to 16 sets, that means you're doing, 4 to 6 exercises, depending on how many sets you like to do on each exercise. I like to stick to 3 to 4 sets of each exercise. So you're going to be in the gym roughly an hour and a half, maybe 2, depending on how long you're resting between sets. I like to keep it around 1 to 2 minutes in between sets. So that is the bro style. We are going to be doing this in a bulk until we get to that 18 to 20%. So once those abs go away, it's time to cut. You're going to be doing each of these bulks and cuts about twice per year. So bro style. All right, guys. So we just finished our first year of bulking and cutting using the bro style split. You had a great year. You made the most gains of your life and you're excited about the gym, but it's time to switch it up. On this next phase, we're going to be working on strength and power, also known as push-pull leg system. One day you're doing all push movements, the next day all pull, and then legs, followed by a rest day, and then repeat. All in a cycle. And we're focusing on heavy weight and compound movements. The best part about this is when you're lifting like that, your testosterone is going to skyrocket. Your nuts are going to be swollen because all that extra testosterone and semen you're producing. You're going to wake up feeling like a fucking superhero, and you're going to think you can split the earth's core with your bare hands. That's what's fun about the strength and power style of bulking and cutting. So we're going to be focusing on these heavy movement lifts. So we're talking about a lot of compound movements. When you're clean and jerk, deadlift, bench press, heavy squats. We're going to do this for a whole year, but it's important to only do this every so often. You only want one cycle maybe of doing a powerlifting phase, because it's really going to put a lot of pressure on your back and your joints, your hips, stuff like that. So I never recommend doing like a powerlifting bulk too many times in your life. Once, maybe twice the most. But as far as the rep range for increasing strength and power, we're going to stick to 3 to 8 reps per set. All right, so that's because we're focusing on building strength. We're no longer focusing on hypertrophy and building muscle in that fashion anymore. We're focusing on strength and power. So it's still going to be the same with sets. You're going to be doing 12 to 16 sets at this rep range, 3 to 8. So then again, we're doing, 4 or 5 different exercises. And the only difference is we're going to do a little bit longer rest period. We're going to be doing at least 2 minutes rest period in between sets. This is because we're stressing our nervous system out a little more. It's going to take a little more time to recover compared to the hypertrophy style. So we're going to do this about 2 bulks in the year. This will be our second year of bulking, and that sums up strength and power. All right, guys, we have now completed another year of bulking and cutting. We now have 2 full years of bodybuilding experience. We just finished the style for strength and power training. So we've developed the muscle now, we've developed the strength, the power, and now it is time to test ourselves in battle in form of a competition of some sort. And why are we doing this? Because it's important not to become a gym cell. There's no point of being good at the gym to be good at the gym, You have to go to another thing in life and conquer that. We've already conquered the gym. We're already hoe ready. We already look great, but we're getting close to our genetic potential now when it comes to having size and strength, We need to have a purpose now. We need to use it. Worst thing you can do is become a gym cell, I understand you got to stay hoe ready. We wanted to look good. We look good now. Now it's time to perform well. All right, first step is to pick a passion. Pick something that you love and compete in it. I'm going to rattle off a few examples here. You could join a bodybuilding show. You could sign up for a fight, whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. You could join a Hydrox competition. Those recently became pretty popular, or join the CrossFit games. Basically, you want to pick a passion, pick an activity that requires you to have a peak week. So for example, bodybuilding, you're putting on all that muscle, and then for your big show, you strip it all out, work on your conditioning, get as absolutely jacked as possible. Or for a boxing, like say you sign up to be a boxer for a fight, you're getting strong, you're getting in the best conditioning as possible. And then in any fight, you have to make a certain weight. So you want to get down to that weight, get as jacked, as strong as possible, ripped, so that you can fight, Pick something that has a peak week. When it comes to CrossFit, you want strength and cardio at their maxes for peak week. So now you're going to use all the strength and conditioning you've learned, add a skill to it, and then compete against other adults that all want to win. Hyper competitive environment. It's going to help you get that extra fire under your ass to make those little additional incremental gains to make you have a passion for something and use that body for good. All right, so that's the 3 phases: hybrid competition style training. Let's get to it, guys. You're going to have to hire a coach for this because you're not experienced in any of these. I can coach you in any of these. I've had experience in all of them. Develop a plan for you, but either way, hire a personal trainer, hire a coach, whatever you need to do. But it's time to test that body. It's time to put it into action. It's time to become a competitive male. All right, guys, now we're wrapping up phase 3 of 4 in the quest for the ultimate physique 4-part series. We've finished 3 of them. 1 more to go. Keep an eye out for it. Just a quick recap. The average Joe phase completed. The hunter phase completed. Builder, we just finished that up. We now got 5 full years of training under our belts, and that leaves us with the final phase, which is final boss phase, coming soon. Let's wrap up this builder, guys. Join a competition, join a fight. Peace out. Keep an eye out for